Welcome to Audit the Audit, where we sort out the who and what and the right and wrong of police interaction. Today's video is brought to us by Big Nick South Florida Accountability's channel. Be sure to check out the original video in the description and give his channel the credit it deserves. Let's dive right in and audit the audit.
What's your name and your badge number?
Officer Pitts, 3199.
Thank you.
Hey,
What's your name and your badge number?
Hold on. What's your name, sir? What is your name?
What crime do you suspect me of committing?
Well, they want to trespass warn you, which they have the right to do
Right.
off their train.
So I don't need to get my name
I'm
for
trying
a
to talk to
warrant.
you.
All right.
First of all,
I don't want to talk though.
They need your
What's your name?
identification.
No.
For the form. Yes, they do.
No,
By
they
law.
told me to leave. I left by law.
By
I
law.
left.
By
If
law,
you
they
can
want
warn
to
me.
I need your information to put in my system.
No, I'm not. What crime do you suspect me of committing?
Trespassing.
In order to be considered a trespasser, Florida Statute 810.08 requires what it calls actual communication to leave. This means that when an invitation has been extended to enter an open business, actual communication is required to put any individual on notice that they are no longer welcome on the property and could be trespassed if they return. If an individual has not been served with actual communication, such as being told to leave or posted signage, then the crime of trespassing has not occurred. Several Florida Supreme Court cases have backed this up. In this instance, the train station is a public place and all members of the public are invited to be there. According to the officer, Big Nick was asked to leave and he did so. Therefore, no crime has been committed and Big Nick is not required to identify himself. Officer Pitts states that the Transit Authority officers have a right to get Big Nick's information in order to issue a warning to him for the trespass. But this is most likely a policy of the Transit Authority. Policy does not equal law. Only members of organizations who are operating under the umbrella of those policies are required to obey them. Big Nick is correct that he does not have to identify himself.
And I'm asking you for your information so I can write into
What
my
crime?
system.
Articulate a
Trespassing
crime.
from the train station.
Okay, they told me to leave
Sir,
and I left. So what crime did I commit?
You have to provide
Absolutely not.
that.
901.151 states
Give me
different.
your name, please.
Florida Penal Code states different.
I'm asking for your name.
Okay.
Name and date of birth, sir.
I'm not giving you my name.
What is your name and date of birth?
What's your name and your badge number?
Don't give it to him.
You have to.
It is a common misconception that police officers are required to identify themselves by law. Most states have not passed legislation requiring officers to identify themselves in any capacity, even when they are out of uniform. The reason most police officers identify themselves when asked is because it is part of their department's policy. It should be noted that policy does not equal law. You can file a complaint with the department if an officer refuses to identify themselves, but it is at the department's discretion as to what the punishment for that violation of policy will be. The officers here are not wrong for refusing to identify themselves. However, it is the policy of all employees of Hollywood City, Florida, to both smile and ask citizens how they can be helped. Officer Pitts failed to do either of those things.
No, I just get you mine.
You're
I'm the
making
primary
contact.
officer. I'm the primary officer.
Okay, so why are they here?
Because they're my backup.
Okay,
And I'm the
I need their
primary-
names.
My
In case you violate my rights, I need to know
I'm asking
who to
for your ID for
contact.
their form.
And I'm not giving
gonna be
it.
Sergeant
They
here.
asked me to leave. They asked me to
They
leave,
don't
and
want
I
you back
left.
here at all.
Okay, so you don't need my information.
They do.
So you don't need. No,
They
I'm
do.
not giving them my information. Florida Penal Code 901.
See this?
Florida Penal Code
See this?
says I don't care.
It states that you need to provide them.
First, you need to warn me, which you're doing now, and I'm not on
I
that.
have nothing to do with it.
Good.
They
So
want-
I'm not. You can't force
I
me to
can
give
warn
them.
you- Hold on, let me talk.
You can't force me to give my
I
ID
can
without
warn you
breaking the
in
law.
the system. Well, when the police officer asks for identification,
That's
you
not
have to
what Florida
identify.
Penal Code 901 Stop 151 states.
Yeah.
It states suspicion of a crime, about to commit a
You
crime,
want
or have
anybody
committed a
like
crime. You can pat me, but you can't search me. I do not agree to any illegal searches or seizures.
That's fine. Here comes the sergeant now. That's great.
Okay,
Turn
good.
around. Do me a favor. You can hold your phone.
Am I being detained?
Well, right now, yes, you
For
are.
what crime?
At this point, Big Nick is officially being illegally detained. The statute Nick is referring to, Florida Penal Code 901.151, states that in order to detain an individual, An officer must indicate that such person has committed, is committing, or is about to commit a violation of the criminal laws of this state or the criminal ordinances of any municipality or county.
For trespassing.
Okay.
You're obstructing my investigation.
I'm not obstructing. I'm talking to you.
Okay.
I need the sergeant, please.
Sergeant's coming, sir.
Thank you.
It is always a good rule of thumb to ask to speak to the commanding officer of the shift. Generally, the commanding officer will be somewhat more knowledgeable about state laws and statutes and more thoroughly trained to de-escalate the situation. This is not always the case, but it is always worth trying.
And so you told them not to identify to a citizen, right?
Who?
You
You're
told them
dealing
not,
with me. I'm the primary.
but they're here.
No, they
They're
have
here.
nothing to do with it.
They're
They
here.
respond because
First of all, why are you so loud? Back up a little bit.
I'm right here.
Okay, but back up a little bit.
Because you're right next to me.
No, you
And
walked
I
up
think
to me.
First of all,
Okay,
I
I'm going to
got
step a step back. I'm going to take a step back. Now, am I being detained?
Yes, you're still being detained for questions of what took place on the train.
It is important to note that the viewers of this video are not provided the full context of this interaction. We do not know what occurred before the police arrived and what led up to Big Nick being ejected from the property. He may have committed a crime which he could be lawfully detained for. However, the officers in this video fail to properly articulate that crime and instead chose to focus on obtaining his information for the trespass warning.
And since I'm being detained, then at this point, I like to assert my Fifth Amendment
Oh
privilege.
my God. What took place on the train that they didn't want to trespass on you? That's what we're asking.
I don't know. Investigate them.
I did. I already talked to her. But I want
Okay.
your side of the story.
I don't have a side.
There's two sides of the story, right?
I don't have a side. I don't answer questions, buddy.
You don't answer questions?
No.
Okay, but you have to provide ID and police.
No, I don't.
For an investigation, yes, you do.
Suspicion of a crime, about to commit a crime,
Well,
have
they're gonna
committed a
charge you. You can
crime.
have it with him. And
901.151.
I know what it is, sir.
I'm an activist.
I know.
And you know I don't
see.
have to give you my
I
information.
see.
You know I don't have to give you my information. So all that, when the
You
police...
have- first of all, you have to give your name for the form for them.
No,
to
I don't,
enter
because
their
no,
system.
they asked me to leave and I left. I know the law. I'm very well versed in the law.
Okay.
They told me to leave and I left.
Okay.
So that's my
Very
warning.
versed.
I'm very
So
versed
when
in the
the
law.
police ask you, they want to put you in the system, so when we have to deal with you again, if we do, it's already there, sir.
Then that's when you get it. If I break the law, that's when you get
But
it.
no, we put it now, so...
No, I don't like giving my name to the government for nothing.
How do you get checks? For paid and stuff like that,
I
right?
said
Get
for
shots.
nothing.
For nothing, but for anything, right? So
I don't like giving my information to the government for just randomly.
stop yelling at me.
I'm not. I can yell. I can talk. Freedom of speech.
I'm asking you to stop yelling at
Do
me.
you feel
And-
threatened?
I kind of do.
Okay, then you can go.
I can't go, honestly.
You can go.
Believe me, I wish I could.
Okay.
It would be a resolved issue.
Where's the sergeant? I want to talk to the
Sergeant over
sergeant.
there.
Call the
He's
sergeant.
coming to talk to you. You don't have to
Because I'm
worry
being illegally detained right
about it. Are you
now.
really? Are you? Have you provided your name and your information? You
I
can
don't
take
have
it
to,
away.
and you know that. That's why I'm not in
It's
cuffs.
their fault.
That's why you're not taking me to.
That's
I'm
what
not
they
giving
do.
up my information.
It's not my headache, dude.
Okay,
It's
then
theirs.
why you
But
still
I'm trying to
here?
help them get the information they need. And
Okay.
I'm putting you in a system myself for contact, and you don't want to do that.
No,
You want to elevate it to somewhere else.
I'm not elevated. You're going to elevate it. All you have to do is follow the law.
I am following the law.
No,
sir.
then they follow 901.151. Follow Penal Code 901.151. Follow Penal Code 901.151.
Sir.
You know what that
I
states,
am
right?
following the law.
What crime have I committed?
Well, you were causing a disturbance on the
I didn't
train.
cause the disturbance. They did. They asked me to leave, and I got off. I followed their
We need the
rules.
information for their report, sir.
Okay, but no, that's not how the law works.
You're not in my law. Like I'm not.
Okay,
I wasn't
so why are you trying to force me to give them my information when I don't have to?
Report, sir.
She can just put a
But
good
then-
citizen
Good citizen.
for her
You say good
report.
citizen?
Good citizen.
Okay. So when the police get involved, I can identify you
No.
for purposes. Yes.
Not unless you suspect me of committing a crime.
I can suspect you're creating disturbance on a train.
No,
Yes, I can.
you can't. I
Yeah,
didn't.
them.
I didn't. According to me, I didn't.
So let me say-
So their word is more powerful than mine.
You wouldn't tell me the story. I asked you what
But
happened.
I'm telling you now, I
Oh,
didn't
now
create
you
a
wanna explain.
disturbance.
Okay.
I'm telling
So
you now, I
explain to me-
didn't.
okay. I asked you. a
There's
minute
no
ago.
explaining.
Explain. I don't. Yes,
Okay,
give me a whole
the
story.
explanation is.
There you go.
The explanation is
Thank you,
I did
sir.
not cause a disturbance.
Okay, well,
The explanation is they asked me.
Did that happen?
They asked me to get off the train. I
Well, why
complied
did they actually get off the train?
because they don't like the shoes I wear.
That wasn't according to them. You were playing loud music.
They lied to you.
Okay, so I'm asking you to explain that to me.
Yeah, they don't like the shoes I'm wearing.
So that's the reason they didn't like the shoes
Yeah.
you were saying, like your black Reeboks that you
Right.
were wearing, and that had them put you off the train.
Right.
The conductor as well.
Right.
So if I take a sworn statement from both of them, they're
You can do what you want to do. They can lie on the sworn statement.
Okay. Here's the sergeant. You can talk to him. You wanted the sergeant. There you go. You want to talk to him?
This guy does this all the time.
I shake your hand, Sergeant.
I know.
So you're not gonna say man, Sergeant? You're not gonna say Hanson. What's your badge number, Hanson?
3065.
Thank you.
Hanson, 3065.
Let your dog know.
I'm not a dog, number one. I'm not a dog, number one.
Let your dog know
I'm not a
that
dog,
he can't
number
attack
one.
me.
You
Look at
understand?
him.
I'm not a dog.
Hey, back
I'm
up
an
on a
officer.
taxpaying law-abiding citizen.
Refer to you in that
I'm an officer.
Do
I'm an
not
officer.
intimidate a
You're not
law.
a dog.
You're not acting like a law.
No,
You're not
I am.
acting like an
I
officer.
am.
No, you trying to
I'm not
demand
a
me to
dog.
give my
I'm an
information to
officer.
them.
They need it for their report.
I don't
back.
care, and I'm
then
telling
an
you, you're
officer
trying to.
actually-
That's
No.
not true, Sergeant.
Okay, but-
You hear what he said, Sergeant?
Subject.
When an officer asks me my name, I have to give it to him.
If you're being detained, you are.
Yeah.
No, I have to be legally
But
detained.
you do this so often, we actually know who you
I have to be
are.
lawfully
I'll give-
detained.
I'll give it to the system.
Here, Officer Pitts insinuates that he will get Big Nick's information from the system even though he has not committed a crime. This is an act of police misconduct. Although the laws regarding police misusing their criminal databases are fuzzy, there are almost certainly departmental policies against this in place. Officer Pitts openly admits that he intends to obtain Nick's information anyway and breach those policies.
Have a nice day.
Lawfully detained.
Stay out of my face.
I'm not in your face. You just came right here. Look. See how your feet move and kick rocks.
All in all, this was a successful stop for Big Nick. Although the police will likely produce his personal information to the transit authority officers, and he will be banned from the train system in Hollywood, Nick stood his ground and did not surrender to the intimidation of Officer Pitts. Hopefully, Officer Pitts will become more informed on Florida Penal Code 901.151 for interactions in the future. Thank you for watching Audit the Audit, and be sure to subscribe for more police interaction content.